Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to the fourth and final round of Locals feature matches for this week. I know it's round 4, but there's only been 3 rounds because, again, like I've said, I forgot to hit record for round 1, which I won't be making that same mistake this coming week. So yeah, there should be 4 feature matches. But we have Adventurer Sprite on the left versus Adventurer Scareclaw on the right. So hope you guys are going to enjoy this match. Also, last old format match of the format, I guess, if that makes sense. But interesting enough, it really won't even seem like an old format match, and you guys will see what I mean. So we're going to see Spright here. Windiral opt to go first, leading with Sprite starter into Jet to go ahead and grab a copy of Smashers, which obviously would indicate that obviously blue is already in hand. Special summon blue effect to go ahead and search a Sprite monster, and we'll see him go ahead and grab a copy of red, opting to play around other hand traps here. But one of the things that I typically like about Sprite players going for lines like this is the fact that they can't play around both hand traps most of the time. They can't really play around both like Imperm and Nibiru. Sometimes if they're trying to play around Nibiru, they play an Imperm, and if they're trying to play around Imperm, they play into Nibiru, and that's just kind of the way it is, unless they open up super insane. And speaking of Imperm, we're going to see it right here on the Gigantic. Obviously, was trying to play around other monster-type hand traps. Obviously, there are more monster-esque hand traps in the game than there are non-monster-esque hand traps, like Imperm. So I feel like, you know, based on just, like, probability, you could argue that maybe his opponent would be more likely to have Ash, Ogre, or something like that. But they also had the Imperm here, so that's going to stop him pretty dead in the water, keeping him off the Frog engine. For the time being, I also see Gamma Burst, Nibiru, and a Smashers in hand, and one other card, which I'm not entirely sure what it is. And then we'll see him pass turn to Caleb here, and we'll see what he can do with his Scareclaw Adventurer deck. I had the pleasure of playing against him on the Saturday Night Locals series. This is actually my first opponent on that, where I was piloting the Rika from a very unique first-person perspective, using a little action cam strapped to my forehead, and I will be continuing to do that. I know there's a lot of feedback, mostly good, some negative, mainly just regarding to the stabilization and stuff, which I hopefully should be addressing this coming round, or this coming week, and, you know, weeks ahead of that. I tried a chest-mounted strap, just to get a little off topic here, but it does not work nearly as well as the head-mounted one does in terms of you guys being able to see what I see, and seeing it well. So we're going to see him lead with the Adventurer package here, going into Fateful, going into the Token, and we'll see if our Sprite player has a response here. We know that Smashers is set. That could easily clear the Token out of the way, but is there really a reason to go ahead and do that as of yet? Most likely not, but we're going to see him go ahead and activate the effect of Fateful now to search a monster. It's obviously going to be Wandering Griffin Rider, discarding the Draco back as cost, well, as part of the effect. And then we're going to go ahead and see him activate Draco back, and we might see him chain Wandering Griffin Rider in response, and it looks like we will. So the Griffin Rider will get negated by red, but Draco back will still come out and equip. There's also a Dark Ruler in hand for our Scareclaw Adventurer player. Maybe feeling is the need that, you know, he didn't need to, feeling as though he didn't need to use the Dark Ruler there, as it would have traded with 1 interruption, and maybe values dealing damage here a little bit more than having to not play through the 1 red. And it looks like here we're going to go ahead and see the Smashers be forced out on the Token to get rid of the Draco back before the Draco back can resolve. And then we're going to see him go ahead and normal summon Scareclaw Acro, and then special summon a copy of Baloney, the Baloney Horse. It says you can special summon this card from your hand to your main monster zone adjacent to a Scareclaw monster you control or in its column. You can only special summon Scareclaw Baloney once per turn. This way, if your Scareclaw monster in the extra monster zone attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. And then we're going to see him link the Acro into Scareclaw Lightheart. Finally got his hands on the Link 1. Love to see. And that is going to basically search out the Primitive Planet Reichphobia from his deck to his hand. Or he can, if you control Visa Starfrost, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. Also a neat little graveyard effect there on the card. And then we're going to see him activate the field spell, which is going to go ahead and search him a Scareclaw. I don't know if it can search Visa Starfrost as well. I know the Tier Limits one can search Visa Starfrost also. All the Primitive Planet field spells might have that in common. But he's going to be searching out the best one. That is Reichard. It says, you know, same summoning condition. You can summon this card from your hand to your zone, to your main monster zone adjacent to a Scareclaw or in the same column. And then if this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Scareclaw spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Then if 3 or more defense position monsters are on the field, you can draw 1 card. So it's kind of like an N-Gage in a sense there, where if you do have 3 or more defense positions, or if there's just 3 or more defense position monsters on the field, period, counting the opponent's stuff too, you can also get a draw after searching out, which is great. And then we're going to see him go ahead and link into the Scareclaw Tryhard. Must be link summoned. All face-up monsters on the field are changed to defense position, unaffected by the activated effects of defense position monsters. Once per turn, if this card is in the extra monster zone, you can target 1 level 3 or lower, or 1 level 3 Scareclaw monster in your graveyard, special summon it. And if you do, add a Scareclaw monster from your deck to your hand. Also, you can add special summon monster the next turn, except Scareclaw monsters. So, nice little card to have out there. It's kind of like the opposite of the Flandree's M-Pen. And I think we just saw him use the Reborn, the Scareclaw Arrival. Target a Scareclaw in the graveyard, or Visa Starfrost special summon defense. And then looks like here we're going to see a Nibiru, and that is really unfortunate. Wiping out the whole board there. Not really sure where that board was going to go after making the Tryhard, but was looking to be shaping up to like a nice looking combo there. Building a pretty big board, and we're going to see the Nibiru resolve. The beautiful shiny Charizard VMAX token. Love to see it. Charlie's always got the drip on hand at all times. And it looks like from there, we're just going to go ahead and see him crash tokens. Crash Nibiru. If I'm seeing that correctly. Because if all the other Scareclaw monsters that were on field have 0 attack, so it would have just been the attack of the token and the attack of the Nibiru. So it'll crash there, no players taking any damage. And then we're going to go ahead and see Adventurer cards on the other side of the table now. Getting Right, getting Fateful and Token, getting Draco back, etc., etc. Same old song and dance that we just saw on the other side of the table. And we have Pixies now in rotation. Going to be able to link off Pixies and the token into Sprite Elf, and there is a blue engrave, so this can help get the Sprite engine rolling yet again. Sprite Blue will go ahead and search out a copy of Jet, special summoning Jet to go ahead and search out a Sprite spell or trap, most likely going to be started here. Already has that Gamma Burst, main decked Gamma Burst in the hand already, and that is going to do a ton here for helping to push for game on an open board, giving all, I believe, level 2, link 2, or rank 2 monsters 1400 attack. He will take 1200 there for summoning out the Sprite Red off of the starter. And then we're going to see him go to battle phase, attack for 14, and then damage step Gamma Burst to boost everything up there. So that Elf will be at 2800, Blue will be at 25, and then Jet will be at 27, Elf will be at 26, and that's definitely more than enough for game. We are into a game 2 situation. Quick shout out, guys, to Imperium Duelist. They just dropped a brand new playmat a couple days ago. On Friday, the brand new Millennium Volume 5 mat on their brand new King's Road material. I got my hands on it a day before it released, and it is amazing. So if you want to grab it, don't forget to use my discount code WinnerKills10 off at checkout to save 10% off your entire order and support the channel. And same can be said if you guys want to support the channel by shopping on TCG Player. Please do not forget to use the affiliate link I have down in the description of all my videos. Anytime you guys shop and check out, using that link, a small bit of the revenue from your purchase will go right back into the channel and helps out a whole lot. So here in game 2, we will see the Scareclaw Adventurer deck start first by normal summoning the Baloney, linking it into the Lightheart, and we're going to see a Veiler on the Lightheart, but we do see a Scareclaw Straddle. When a card or effect is activated that targets a Scareclaw monster or Visa Starfrost, you control and negate that effect, so that'll stop the Veiler. So kind of like a nice little called by, sort of, not really a call by, maybe like a better Forbidden Dress, in-engine Forbidden Dress for the Scareclaw deck. Really cool. The Reichphobia will come down. He'll also get the Reichheart. Reichheart will eat another hand trap, so Imperm coming down there, stopping him from getting a search. I'm pretty sure the Reichphobia, I want to read this card. I know there's a lot of, we're getting a lot of primitive planet type field spells. I know Pearl Rhino is kind of the same way. Yeah, when this card is activated, you can add a Scareclaw monster or a Visa Starfrost from your deck to your hand. So just confirming that it can do that. And unfortunately, Caleb will not have much else past the Veiler Imperm there. Obviously was able to dodge one, but you know, not dealing with the second one there. He'll have to set 2 and just pass and hope that his opponent doesn't have enough this turn to be able to get the job done. We will see him start with Right, though. That is a great way to start things off here. He'll be able to get Fateful, get Token, and then use the effect to go ahead and search a monster and discard, getting rid of Pot of Prosperity, saying, you know, I don't need to dig 6 cards deep here. I certainly don't want to be dealing half damage either. Maybe feeling as though he can go for an OTK here. We'll see him grab the equip spell on the summon of the Wandering Griffin Rider, or maybe he just has 2 Pot of Prosperity in hand. We'll never know. We'll equip the Draco back, and Draco back can force out quite a bit here, going after one of the random back row. And it looks like no response as it gets bounced back to hand. We'll see him normal Jet, special summon blue effect to go ahead and search a copy of Jet. And this is looking a little sketchy. It looks like here we will see D-Barrier. Although I guess you could have let your opponent maybe commit to the Gigantic as a little bit of a tip. That way they take 2 bodies, combine them into one weak 1600 body, and they can't use its effect. And that way they have less bodies on field to be able to use with the Gamma Burst, because we know the Jet is in hand. We know he hasn't used Jet effect. He just normal summoned the Jet earlier this turn. And, you know, now that you can get Jet on field, that's another body. That's 5 total bodies on the board. And they can all be essentially boosted. And you already have looking at 4k damage there from just the Token and the Griffin Rider. And Lightheart is pretty weak, if I remember correctly. I'm just going to pull the rest of the stats up here. Yeah, Scareclaw, Lightheart only having 500 attack. And the Reichheart, though, having 2100 defense. And I believe the field spell also has one other attack and defense modification to it, I believe. Monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack and defense each for each defense mission monster on the field. So only one, so they're only losing 100 attack each, and as expected, we are going to see the Jet come down. Jet is going to go ahead and search for a Sprite, spell, or trap, and we see the calculator being grabbed. This means math is being done, a rare thing for a Yu-Gi-Oh player to do, alongside reading. So we're going to go ahead and see him do the math here and see if he's got enough damage on board. If he goes ahead and actually commits to grabbing the Gamma Burst, and it looks like he will grab the Gamma Burst. Opponent giving it a read there just to make sure he understands the situation that he may find himself here in a moment. And we're going to see him activate the Gamma Burst, and now putting that elf up to 25, actually at 24 because of the field spell. He'll go over the Reichheart at 2100 defense over the Lightheart, and then swinging in now no defense position monsters left on the field, and 27 from just the double Super Poly in hand. Very, very unfortunate that one of those happened to get bounced to hand. So we will see Sprite Adventure take it 2-0 there. No Ronin Totem needed, no Hulk. And last but not least, a huge shout out goes to our Divine level channel members who are Pony Start, Cadillacs84, Justin Lamb, HG8 Cyber, and Mango. Thank you guys so much as always for extremely kind and generous support of this channel.